Hello everyone. Paragliding is the recreational and competitive adventure sport of flying paragliders. Lightweight, free-flying, float-launch glider aircraft with no rigid primary structure. The pilot sits in a harness or lies supine in a cocoon-like pod suspended below a fabric wing. Wing shape is maintained by the suspension lines, the pressure of air entering vents in the front of the wing, and the aerodynamic forces of the air flowing over the outside. Despite not using an engine, paraglider flights can last many hours and cover many hundreds of kilometers. Though flights of 1 to 2 hours and covering some tens of kilometers are more the norm. By skillful exploitation of sources of lift, the pilot may gain height, often climbing to altitudes of a few thousand meters. In 1966, Canadian Domina Jalbert was granted a patent for a multi-cell wing-type aerial device. A wing having a flexible canopy constituting an upper skin and with a plurality of longitudinally extending ribs forming in effect a wing corresponding to an airplane wing airfoil. More particularly, the invention contemplates the provision of a wing of rectangular or other shape having a canopy or top skin, and a lower spaced apart bottom skin. A governable gliding parachute with multi-cells and controls for glide. In 1954, Walter Neumark predicted, in an article in Flight magazine, a time when a glider pilot would be able to launch himself by running over the edge of a cliff or down a slope. Whether on a rock climbing holiday in Skye or skiing in the Alps. In 1961, the French engineer Pierre Lemongin produced improved parachute designs that led to the Paracommander PC. The Paracommander had cutouts at the rear and sides that enabled it to be towed into the air and steered, leading to parasailing/parascending. Domina Jalbert invented the parafoil, which had section cells in an aerofoil shape, an open leading edge and a closed trailing edge. Inflated by passage through the air, the ram air design. He filed U.S. Patent 3,131,894 on January 10, 1963. About that time, David Barish was developing the sail wing, single surface wing, for recovery of NASA space capsules. Slope soaring was a way of testing out the sail wing. After tests on Hunter Mountain, New York, in September 1965, he went on to promote slope soaring as a summer activity for ski resorts. Author Walter Neumark wrote operating procedures for ascending parachutes. And in 1973 he and a group of enthusiasts with a passion for tow-launching PCs and ram air parachutes broke away from the British Parachute Association to form the British Association of Parascending Clubs, which later became the British Hang Gliding and Paragliding Association. In 1997, Neumark was awarded the Gold Medal of the Royal Aero Club of the UK. Authors Patrick Gilligan, Canada, and Bertrand Dubuis, Switzerland, wrote the first flight manual, the Paragliding Manual, in 1985, coining the word paragliding. These developments were combined in June 1978 by three friends, Jean-Claude Batam, André Beaune, and Gérard Bosson, from Lucy, Haute-Savoie, France. After inspiration from an article on slope soaring in the Parachute Manual magazine by parachutist and publisher Dan Pointer. They calculated that on a suitable slope, a square ram air parachute could be inflated by running down the slope. Batam launched from Point du Pertus at Moussy and flew 100 meters. Beaune followed him and glided down to the football pitch in the valley 1,000 meters below. Parapente, pente being French for slope, was born. The first, unofficial, paragliding world championship was held in Freiburg, Switzerland, in 1987. Though the first officially sanctioned FI World Paragliding Championship was held in Kassel, Austria, in 1989. Europe has seen the greatest growth in paragliding, with France alone registering in 2011 over 25,000 active pilots. In 2022, feasibility study of paragliding from above 8,000 meters is in progress in Nepal and the Everest region. It would be the paragliding from highest altitude in the world. Most popular paragliding regions have a number of schools, generally registered with and or organized by national associations. Certification systems vary widely between countries, though around 10 days instruction to basic certification is standard. There are several key components to a paragliding pilot certification instruction program. Initial training for beginning pilots usually begins with some amount of ground school to discuss the basics, including elementary theories of flight as well as basic structure and operation of the paraglider. Students then learn how to control the glider on the ground, practicing takeoffs and controlling the wing overhead. Low, gentle hills are next where students get their first short flights, flying at very low altitudes, to get used to the handling of the wing over varied terrain. Special winches can be used to tow the glider to low altitudes in areas that have no hills readily available. As their skills progress, students move on to steeper/higher hills, or higher winch tows, making longer flights. And learning to turn the glider, control the glider's speed, then moving on to 360 degrees turns, spot landings, big ears. Used to increase the rate of descent for the paraglider, and other more advanced techniques. Training instructions are often provided to the student via radio, particularly during the first flights. A third key component to a complete paragliding instructional program provides substantial background in the key areas of meteorology, aviation law, and general flight area etiquette. To give prospective pilots a chance to determine if they would like to proceed with a full pilot training program, most schools offer tandem flights, in which an experienced instructor pilots the paraglider with the prospective pilot as a passenger. Schools often offer pilots' families and friends the opportunity to fly tandem, and sometimes sell tandem pleasure flights at holiday resorts. Most recognized courses lead to a national license and an internationally recognized International Pilot Proficiency Information/Identification Card. The IPI specifies 5 stages of paragliding proficiency, from the entry-level Para Pro 1 to the most advanced Stage 5. Attaining a level of Para Pro 3 typically allows the pilot to fly solo or without instructor supervision. The potential for injury can be significantly reduced by training and risk management. The use of proper equipment such as a wing designed for the pilot's size and skill level, as well as a helmet, a reserve parachute, and a cushion harness also minimize risk. Pilot safety is influenced by an understanding of the site conditions such as air turbulence, rotors, strong thermals, gusty wind, and ground obstacles such as power lines. Sufficient pilot training in wing control and emergency maneuvers from competent instructors can minimize accidents. Many paragliding accidents are the result of a combination of pilot error and poor flying conditions. Thank you all very much. Please like, share, and subscribe.